Okay, so hi everybody. Welcome to Ask Rad and Friends with my darling friend Robert Reeves.
Hey.
We've already been going at it. So, hi Robert.
Good morning, Radley. It's morning over here. So what is it for you? It's afternoon now.
It's afternoon. There is snow on the ground. Yes, I'm wearing my only floral summer print in honor of you.
Thank you. I love it. Well, it's the opposite here because today is meant to be, it's going to be close to 40 degrees here Celsius, which is, I think, just under 100 Fahrenheit.
Wow. Ooh,
so you have snow and we're 100 degrees. So we're opposite ends.
Someone's saying, I'm trying to manage Hay House Live and Radley Valentine Live. I'm so confused.
Well, just go within your heart and see which one is bringing you more joy right now.
Oh, okay. Did you meet Andriana Hopkins in So she's saying hello.
Sydney? Yeah. Hey.
Saying hello.
I know. It's actually daytime for our Australians, which is nice.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I know so many people overseas. You're one of the exceptions, Radley, but so many people forget about us over here, and it's like 2 in the morning when they decide to do things. So I think me and my Australian friends, we all appreciate this time slot.
Oh, well, thank you. So for those of you, we have 44 comments so far. So for those of you who have just absolutely not had the honor, this is Robert Reeves. He is a Hay House Australia author, Australian, I should say. He's a Hay House author who's Australian, to say it correctly. And he is the flower dude. So...
I prefer Lord of the Flowers, but whatever.
Lord of the Flowers. That's what I
said. Oh dear, why did you let me come on here? Like, this is your fault.
Why?
I'm already being silly, so, and it's like, we haven't even started yet. You've barely introduced me, and I can't even contain myself.
It is the Radley and Robert show. This is right. This is what we do. So you want to try to be serious? We
could try.
Okay. Anyway, so how have you been?
I have been very well. I'm loving the new energy of 2019. Like, last year was a bit of a scary roller coaster ride that I did not enjoy so much. But, thankfully it is over. We managed to get off the roller coaster. And I think that, this year is kind of a lot more like this freshness. And one of the things I suppose I feel is that because of the things, and I don't feel like I was alone in that. I think that a lot of other spiritual people were feeling the same stuff, that it was, an intense year, and that, there was just all these different challenges and hurdles that we all kind of faced. And I think the blessing that came out of all of that is it also showed us all how strong we are inside. Sometimes we have to overcome these things and we think, how am I going to do that? But then we're able to. And I guess that's the blessing. It shows us that we're a lot stronger than we give ourselves credit for. And that's the kind of energy and vibration that I want to take into 2019.
I think that sounds great. Should we sing Stronger?
I don't know that anyone wants to hear me sing, but please. Okay. And all of the chairs on The Voice turn around.
What is true though is that so I use this amazing astrologer. His name's Kelly Surfies, and she's Australian. And so I'm still trying to say that word the way you taught me.
I know. I'm so proud of you, Radley, because when I first met Radley, and that was, we were trying to figure this out off camera, and it was maybe like, I don't know, 10 or 11 years ago or something that we first met. And, you know, Radley's like, Australia, you know, it's like none of us say that. Like, nobody says Australia. Like, so it's like, Australia. Like, you've got to just kind of cut out most of the words or most of the letters and just make it up. So Australia. Beautiful.
So this little elf spends all the time teaching me how to say Australia. So then
I already know where this is going.
Yeah, and I'm in Australia. And so I go there and I say, so how many people in the audience know tarot? And there's like 500-600 people in the audience, and not a single person raised their hand, not one. And I'm like, oh my God, really? And the woman on the front row goes, are you talking about the tarot? So I just sort of turn and look at the side, and there's Robert going.
I know, and then I've had to serve as like translator between American and Australian.
Tell me about it. Anyway, but anyway, so Kelly had told me that 2018 was going to be like this.
Well, thanks for letting the rest of us know. A heads up would have been enough.
Capricorn boy, that has nothing to do with me. but basically, Caroline says, somebody said they love your angel statue.
Oh, thanks. Little Archangel Michael behind me.
Oh, and Bridget saying she loves us both.
Oh, we love you, Bridget.
So we don't have to do paper, rock, scissors to figure out which one of us she loves more. She loves us both. Anyway, so I knew that for me 2018 was going to be, and 2019 is supposed to be much better. But I hope this doesn't disappoint anybody. But I do the cards of the day in batches in advance, right? It's not like I get up every single day and like put on clothes or makeup or whatever and do.
I hope you're getting up every day and putting on clothes.
Well, fancy clothes.
Not
my Donald Duck T-shirt. Okay. And so I do them in advance. And one of the things that I'm noticing is that there's this really big theme going into the end of January, these last few days of January, where it's almost like asking people are this message of, okay, reconnect to the energy you had on January 1st, but almost like this sense of be assertive. Go after your dreams, go after your passions, go after all this stuff, which is almost making me sort of like feel like people have already petered out. Some people, right? They've already fallen back into, okay, well, I'm going to the grocery today and, I'm not going to go after my dreams. I'm going to go to the grocery store and get sliced bread. And then it's like this message of reinvigorating people and going, no, we're not done yet. In fact, we haven't started. Have you seen any of that?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think with the people that I've kind of interacted with so far this year, it feels like, and my thing, I guess, too, is I have this sort of difference between setting our intentions for the year and resolutions. Yeah. So I think resolutions, let's be real, they're a waste of time. Nobody sticks to them. And I kind of asked the angels, I said, like, what is this about? Like, why do people fail at resolutions so much? And the kind of vibe I got from them was that resolutions are relying just on us. So if I say, oh, this year I'm going to do this thing, then it's like I'm setting this resolution and says, Robert is the source of all that power, all that energy, that confidence, that commitment, all that staying power has to come just from me. Whereas if I'm then setting my intentions and kind of putting my, thoughts and prayers out into the universe to say, okay, this year, here are the things I'd love to achieve, or here are the things I'd like to get closer to achieving, then that helps our spiritual support team kind of come in behind us and keep pushing us forwards. Because like you said yourself, Rad, there's this vibe that people are slipping back into just everyday normal life. You know? And we kind of get in these routines, we get in these habits of things, and it kind of traps us. And in a sense, sometimes the angels show me this vision of like quicksand, you know, and we're kind of in that quicksand, but we don't realize until we're neck deep in it. You know, and then it's like, how do I get out now? You know, I've gotten into this routine, I've kind of started it up. And then we tell ourselves, well, I'll wait until next month, or I'll wait until next year, or whatever it is to start that new thing. Whereas every single day is a fresh start. It's kind of like we hit this big reset button in our sleep, and we wake up and it's like, how am I going to get that momentum flowing today? You know, how am I going to, you know, project that energy to get to where I want to be? And that's the thing too, I think that the start of the year is so nice for us to be able to figure out where we want to go. So let's say somebody wants to write a book, you know, they want to become an author. It's like, well, it doesn't mean by the end of the year you have to have the book finished, but by the end of the year, you want to be closer than where you are right now. You know, and every day you can then look at, you know, what I did and how I spent my time and go, did I get closer to that dream coming true? You know, or did I just binge watch a whole bunch of Netflix? You know, it's like, where did I go? Like, did that serve me? Did that allow me to fulfill my purpose? You know, it's like we need to start looking at those things to keep ourselves on track more, I think.
Well, you have students here who are saying that they're setting your intentions.
Yeah. Don't you just love it when your students are just promoting your stuff for you? Yeah, so I have I released like a mini little class a couple of weeks ago on this kind of thing, you know, to, you know, set your intentions and sort of focus on what goals you want for the year, and kind of sharing a few little spiritual tips and techniques along the way. Like, let me see, I don't want to ungracefully, you know, kind of create 12 chins here, but but like this little thing, I don't know if I can show you this on the camera. Can you see?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
there's like a little bowl. I've got, you know, a bunch of little citrine crystals in there, and then I put some of our Australian money in the bowl, because, you know, the angel said in terms of like finances and abundance, it's like we want to be positive. You know, we want to focus on, you know, attracting that abundance. And so I kind of put a few of those little tips in this mini class. But then, because I felt the same thing as you were saying, I also then included this little bonus lesson on getting rid of the garbage from last year, because we don't want that trailing into this year and to, you know, kind of mess up everything that we're kind of doing right now, you know, because it can then get cloudier, you know. And it's like, think of if we've got a picture, you know, or a painting, and it's like if we've already kind of smeared a whole bunch of paint all over the place, and then we try and start a new painting, it's going to be a bit messy. So we have to kind of wipe the slate clean a bit and get rid of all of that stuff, so that we can then, you know, make this year as awesome as it can be.
So Jamie is saying, so when are Radley and Robert going to do a deck of cards together?
I don't know. You'll just have to wait and see, Jamie. If everyone has amazing ideas, send them to us.
Never occur to you?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure if that's ever occurred to me, Radley. Like, I've just been sitting over here pondering this thing and kind of wondering, like, okay, what could we create? What would we call it? And, you know, what is an awesome title? but no, I'm not sure. Yeah. The laughing deck, like, I don't know what it and it's just, you know, unflattering screenshots, you know, from our videos, because, you know, it's like just of us laughing.
That's exactly.
Yeah. What is with that? Like, why does Facebook and YouTube and all of them, they kind of go through the video and go, here's the ugliest screenshot, I'm going to pick that.
Absolutely, they do. They do. And this software we're using today also
Wonderful. So I'll just stay like this, the entire time. Because it'll catch that moment where I'm bending down to pick up that bowl.
Fortunately, once you post it, you can go and edit it, and there's like thumbnails, and you can pick them. But, YouTube is especially bad about
yeah. Like, exactly.
Hey, that's great.
It's terrifying.
Very helpful. Really helpful.
It makes me want to click on the video just so I can see why you're making that face.
I'm sure I'll get 1 million likes because of that picture. Thank
you. Yeah, but I think like the thing with this year is it's this fresh start for all of us, and we want to just keep that momentum happening. Don't give up on the dreams, and don't kind of settle for second best. Go for that big dream that you've got up there, and ignore that annoying ego voice which is saying, it's going to be too hard, or you can't do it, or nobody's going to listen to you, or any of those things that kind of come up. It's like, push that stuff out of the road and focus on what's in here.
I completely agree. And so let's just pinky promise that we're going to really
or am I going the wrong way? Should I be this way? I don't know which way it is.
Let's just pinky promise that for both Team Robert and Team Radley, we're gonna push this message. Keep people awake, right? Let's not get to the end of the year and, like you said, have not really accomplished anything. The unserious Oracle deck. Carol is suggesting that name. I kind of like it. It's not bad.
I could work with that. That's a good jumping off point.
I mean, there's a gummy bear tarot deck. I mean, there can be an unserious. Really? No, Grant Virtue sent it to me as a gift.
Who comes up with this? And I guess we both have this inside knowledge of sometimes the struggle to pitch an idea, and so you then think, how did they convince them to print that? like how did they come up with this idea, and then how did they convince the publisher to print it?
I know. I've seen stuff like that. It's like, the goat cheese turn, and you're like, why? Where did that come from?
No.
Well, we're almost out of time. So tell people what's up with you, where they can find you, blah, blah, blah.
Well, they can find me on my Facebook page at Robert Reeves, or on Instagram at Robert Reeves 444. And we do all sorts of fun things. I do weekly videos, as people here have mentioned. I've got some online classes. But I guess what I feel part of my purpose is to help bring more light to some of those darker situations, and to bring some healing, to help clear away the blocks and kind of shift that energy. And again, it's like we don't want to slip into fear mode. There's certain things that we kind of encounter, and different stuff that comes up from time to time that can make us feel different emotions. We might get upset or angry or disappointed, and those things can take us off our game. So it's like if we're walking on the sidewalk, and it's all nice and clean, and it's easy, we can see where we're going. But when we slip into all those lower energies and those lower emotions, it's like we start going bush. So we're traipsing through the prickly things, and then we're going to trip over, and there's sticks all over the place. It's like, it's harder. So just get back onto that path that you want to be on, and focus on the good stuff, focus on the blessings, focus on the miracles, and be open to all of that. And I think that this year we can all have an awesome time.
Sounds awesome. And I know 2018 was no walk in the park for you, but you look fantastic. You're glowing.
It's all the lighting.
But you're glowing.
Yeah, exactly. I'm shining. What you mean is shiny. You're being nice and you're saying I'm shiny. Thank you. My face isn't usually being filmed at this time of day. What was that, sorry?
Is it 100 degrees yet?
It is getting hot already. Yeah. So it's like, let me see. I'll check the weather for you right now, since you've asked.
So the weather in Australia?
Yep. So it's 24 degrees Celsius and 76 Fahrenheit, and it's 20 past 8 in the morning.
Oh. Well, you know what? I had a magically cool day.
Thank you.
And
yeah,
it's always so awesome to see you. I love you with all of my heart.
Likewise.
So everybody, this has been Ask Rad with Robert Reeves. Next week, we're going to have Prince Philip on, otherwise known as John Moore. So see you guys. Have a magical week.